Okay, here's my comparison between the DX9 Gabriel and the FansToys Terminus Giganticus. So let me first point out that there is another comparison video of these two figures done by Jack from Toy Dojo, and I think that's probably the best comparison video of these two figures out there on YouTube. So I will leave a link in the description if you're interested in checking that out. And now for me, I need to first give the disclaimer that there are a lot of things to cover with both of these figures. So I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna do my very best to try to cover all of them, so I can point out all of the differences that I think are important to know about. But there's a lot, so yeah, I might forget a few things here and there. But with that said, let me just let you know I'm not gonna go over the box because I no longer have the FansToys box, because yeah, it's just too many boxes that I have no room to store. But letting you know that FansToys came with two boxes, set A and set B, that were over $250 each. So this figure was over $500, maybe something like $600. Crazy. And then the DX9, I think they did a better job, just one box. So yeah, and that was I don't remember how much it cost at that time, but I know it's going for less now. I got this for $250 when I could have got it from BBTS for $180, but it was over a week and they still haven't shipped it, so I canceled it and I regret it. So just letting you know, first of all, the price differences. FansToys is definitely much more expensive and DX9 is a little less. So maybe it's important to know what the differences are. So with that said, let's go over what the DX9 comes with. So with DX9, what you get is the instructions booklet, of course. And we're done in the old Takata Masterpiece style, which is nice. The bio card, set of stickers, which is nice. I really hate stickers. And the only accessory you get is this alternative face with the open mouth. And actually, some of them, actually I think initially you did get a little mini poster, which I didn't get, which is really nice because I think they did a really nice artwork there. But I guess it's okay because, you know, they fold it up where you have all those creases on it, so I don't know how well you could display it with, you know, those creases on the poster. But let's see, let's go over just the bio card real quick, because these are always my favorite. So you can see it's done in that nice baseball card shape, really nice. And in the back, the product images, and it's something in Japanese which I can't read, pretty bad because I'm Japanese and I forgot how to read all of that. But that's really nice. I really like the bio cards, especially in the baseball card format. And the instructions, so let's go over the instructions since that's what I like to do. So you open it up. Unfortunately, you don't get a contents of the accessories that you get, which all you get are stickers and the head, so maybe you don't need it. But here's their instructions, which I like to go over, so you can always pause and refer to this for reference if needed. And I think this is good to point out that the transformation design on DX9 is much simpler. So I think they did a better job on designing the transformation. And you could see it is these are some nice detailed drawings where they highlighted the focus areas red, and there are some arrows which are black. I think it would have been better if they used yellow, but yeah, this is their version. And here's the final product when you transform it. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, this always bugged me because that's not cartoon accurate, these yellow pieces on the side, but it's still a really nice alt mode. And in the back you get the nice schematic drawing there, so really nice. And now with the FansToys, this is what you get. So first, let's see, you get the instructions booklet, you get the bio card, which I always complain that it's done in this credit card shape instead of the baseball card format, but it does have a nice product image. And the back, you can see product image, text spec, and this is what's always bad. How are you supposed to read it unless you zoom in, pause, and read all of this? So that's kind of unfortunate, but with my video, maybe you can, you know, see what the bio is when just by pausing it. And then you also get the accessories. You get 3 accessories. You get an alternative chest piece, which is, you know, just red plastic instead of the transparent red, which I have on there. And you get this red crotch piece, which doesn't make sense because I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe that was based on the toy design or something. And you get a clear face mask, which I think I should change because after looking at the cartoon, he doesn't have like a yellow gold tint to it. It's more like just clear. So you get that option there with the accessories. And let's go over the FansToys booklet. So here's the first page. You can see you get the product images with the couple of accessories. You don't have that face mask. And then here you can see, you know, how they handle the detailed drawings, the transformation. So you can always pause and refer to this for reference if you need. And I think now's a good time to just point out that FansToys, the way they designed the transformation, it's a little complicated, difficult, much more involved, so just take that how you will, but there's the difference. And everyone points out, yes, that the DX9 is much easier to transform than FansToys. So I think that's one difference that's important to point out. And here you go with the final product image. You could see their alt mode does look a little bit better. I think this top piece, they should have pulled it up to make the rocket look a little longer. And then here the back, some of the how you can use the accessories, like I said, this weird crotch piece, and yeah, how you can swap out the chest piece for the transparent red or the clear red plastic piece. Some details with the head, which I'll get into later. And this, yeah, I'm gonna get into also. FansToys did not do a good design on their electronic features that this comes with. So here's the back with the final product image. And I guess maybe this is a page they forgot to put in, but this is just showing you about the head, how you can transform the headpiece. So that's what you get with FansToys. And so now let's go over these figures. So let's start first with DX9, and let's start with the head. So I'm going to do the best that I can. So let me just try to get this all on camera first. So first of all, here's the head, nicely sculpted. Let me push that down first. And it is not on a ratchet, but that's not a bad thing because it does rotate fine. And I think because it's not on a ratchet, you do have more control over the range where you want to position it. So I think that's really nice. And it is very simple design, but I want to point out this is not cartoon accurate because this red piece with the gun should all be one piece, but they did not do that. So yeah, there's one difference. But I do like how it's a very simple design, not, you know, all this extra detail. And then you just saw me push this down, but what's cool is you can actually lift this up, which allows for more articulation for the head to go down, which I think is really cool because he is a really big figure, and so it makes sense that he should be looking down. And so I think that's cool. That's something you don't get with FansToys. So extra articulation there. And some other things you get, this little hinge you lift up here, which allows you to rotate the inside for the transformation. And this face mask does open up, and you could see this is really nice how they sculpted in all this detail. They painted it, but it would have been nice if they would have added more paint like red and yellow for the control panel. But this is really a nice touch. So really nice. And I like how they made it so that you can turn it instead of having to, you know, use your hand to kind of swivel this around, which is what you have to do with FansToys. And this head also has a feature that was from the cartoon. I don't remember what it was, but it was that machine that converted the Transformers into servants for Megatron. But you could see this is really cool. So DX9 always does like these nice features, like from the cartoon, kind of like their Menasor with that huge insect thing. Yeah, that transformed into a gun. So that's really nice. So just pointing that out. That's another difference, that DX9, you do get some extra features that are from the cartoon. Now let's come over here to FansToys, and you can see. So first of all, you heard that. You can hear all this ratchet. I guess that's nice, you know, that they spent more money to give you this nice clickety ratchet. But like I pointed out, you are limited in the range based on where each one of these stops. So just take that how you will. I'm not saying that's good or bad, there's just a difference. This one's ratcheted, that one's just friction. But this is important. You see how they handled this? This one is cartoon accurate. It's all red from the head all the way to the gun there. So that's cartoon accurate. And unfortunately with FansToys you don't get any articulation with the head going up and down like DX9. But FansToys, you can also open this, but you have to use your hand to rotate it. And you could see you do have some control panel, but this is really because of the feature that they gave you. You can unscrew those things and switch this on, and you do have a light feature here, so maybe that's one reason why this cost a little bit more, because they gave you a nice light feature, which I can't show you because I did not put the batteries in. But that's something different that you get with FansToys that you don't get with the DX9. And since I have it here, here's a close-up of the head. So you can see this head. So I guess some people say they like it, but I'm telling you, I do not like it, because this head is sculpted incorrectly. This has a more organic sculpt, so it looks more like a human face, you know, with those, I don't remember the anatomy, but those two bumps underneath the bottom lip, and then you could see the bags under his eyes. This is more organic, so that's not really accurate. But now let me just point out, since I forgot to mention it here with DX9, theirs does not have that organic look. This one, people complain, looks a little bit more flat. It does, but you could see this hard edge from the front and the side. So that looks a little bit more like a robot face, in my opinion. So there's another difference, and I'm just telling you, for me, I think this head looks a little bit better than FansToys, because FansToys, again, look at this, does not look like a robot face. It looks like a real face. It looks very organic. So yeah, so there's some differences with the head. Okay, so now let's start moving down here. Let's get situated here so you could see the chest. And yeah, both of them, they did pretty much a similar job in that, you know, the details, they did put in some details and they kept it kind of simple. They both gave you this transparent red plastic to make it look nice. So let's just take a look at FansToys. You could see what they did. But typical of FansToys, they do a better job on these details. So better sculpted, more paint. And again, here's DX9, you can see. But in my opinion, I don't think that makes much of a difference, because they both seem the same to me there. But in terms of the shoulder articulation, I think DX9's first version, I think there was a problem with being too tight. But here you could see there's no problem. It does go up and down, and it does go out to the side on a soft ratchet. And you, I don't think you get a, yeah, you don't, unfortunately, you don't get a bicep swivel. So yeah, there is one major difference, but you do get a elbow going up and down. So that's articulation with the DX9. And here with FansToys, you can see, let me put this down so you could see this. Theirs is on a really tight ratchet, and you can clearly hear it. It's not really good or bad. All it is because it's so tight, it does make this stronger, so it can hold up much better. And I don't have anything to show you, but you can put something heavy here like Megatron, and it will hold it pretty securely. Here with DX9, I mean, you put something there, it's not as sturdy as FansToys. And so yeah, that's just the shoulder, and it does go out to the side also on the tight ratchet. And this is nice, you do get bicep swivel, so that's cool. Something you get with FansToys you don't get with DX9. And you do get elbow going up and down. Okay, so now let's get into the claw. So let me point out here, first of all, the differences. You could see DX9, theirs is a little bit more pointier, and that is more cartoon accurate. And here with FansToys, you can see they cropped off the tips. So that's not cartoon accurate. But with DX9, you get 2 points of articulation, which I think is fine. But with FansToys, you get 3 points of articulation. So out here, 1, 2, and then the tip of the fingers. So there's another difference, and you just take it how you will. I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter. For me, the shape matters, that this is more cartoon accurate and this is not. Now, let's go over, both of these have a light feature on the claw, and I don't have the batteries installed, but I want to point out DX9 did a better job here, because there's a button. All you have to do is push that button and the light turns on. And I think someone also pointed out that the light is much brighter on DX9, but this is what's more important. I mean, the way they designed it with the button, that was much better design. Now with FansToys, I mean, it's cool, you still get that electronic light feature, but this is what's kind of really bothersome, is that to access it and turn it on, you have to remove this piece, and then you have to flip the switch and then put it back in. That I don't think was, they should have thought that design out a little bit better. So that's one side of the arm. So the other arm, same thing in terms of the articulation. No problems going front and back, out to the side, no bicep swivel. You do get a elbow, joint here, and this one you also get a light feature on the Canon. Let's see if I can show you. I'm gonna have to push this back a little because this is a pretty big figure. And yeah, again, I don't have the batteries installed, but this is what's important to point out. Just a simple button, on-off button. And again, the light feature is much brighter than FansToys. So again, DX9 handled the electronic light feature much better than FansToys. And so here with FansToys, let's take a look at it. First of all, the same thing, same articulation, hard ratchets going front and back, out to the sides, but you do get a nice bicep swivel, elbow joint, elbow is ratcheted, and here. So this one, the same thing, and this one is even worse design, because this one, you do have to first remove this, and you have to be very careful, because if you take a look at that, come on, you can easily break that off, and if you do, you're gonna have to have some solder devices to fix it. And so I've already hit it a couple of times trying to put this piece back on. So that's really not a good design. And then you have to open something up just to access the on-off feature. So again, just letting you know, yeah, that's just how FansToys did it, and just being very honest. See, again, I mean, this is already gonna bend off. Because you have to carefully get it into there without hitting it. So not a good design, which really reminds me of their Quake Wave, because I did end up breaking the light feature on Quake Wave's arm. Damn, this is gonna break off because I did it again. I have to get it in that hole before I can put it in and then close it. So yeah, it's not a good design. But you do get something else that with this FansToys I think is cool, is how you can extend this. So this is cool. So I think it should be more, I think it should be shorter in robot mode. And then when you have it in rocket mode, you can extend this out to be a little bit longer. So that's something different you get with FansToys. DX9, you can see you can't retract it. It's just this long piece. So just some other differences. Now back to DX9, you could see just the chest area, how they, very simple design, not overly detailed, so looks really nice. FansToys, so first of all, I have the transparent red on here, so it looks a little bit more cohesive with the top. Unfortunately, I can't have transparent red down here, so at least it looks a little bit more cohesive. And here you could see what I'm talking about. Clearly a difference there. But here with FansToys, you do get a feature here which is not in the cartoon, so I don't know why they did it, but it is a nice feature if you want to play with the figure, where yeah, you can open this up and you have to unscrew things to put a battery in, but when you do, you have this slot here where you could put the MP10 matrix, where it will light up when you flip that switch there. So yeah, that's not in the cartoon, so I don't know why they did that. I guess it's just a nice little feature, you know, that they added that you're paying for, because this is an expensive figure. Yeah, and it does look nice. Typical FansToys, they sculpted it. It does look nice. So that's just something, yeah, an extra feature that you get with the FansToys. So same thing, you know, the chest detail and all that. Not much difference here. Now, there's another important part, which is the hip area. So first of all, you do get a hip rotation. That's just simply on a friction, not a ratchet. And here you do get these hip skirts, these flaps, both on the front, the sides, and out to the back. And I think the most important thing is to point out is how they handled the ratchets on the legs here. So let me see if I can show you here, but this is how DX9 handled their legs. So you can go front and back, which is just on a friction. So there's one difference. FansToys is on a ratchet, but this is on a ratchet going out to the side. So yeah, and you don't get any thigh rotation. So all it is just front and back and out to the side. But this is much sturdier the way they designed it. So just want to point that out, because you come over here to FansToys. Oh, okay, so you could see how they handled theirs. So first of all, you know, I don't think this is very well designed, because you can see how these parts here are exposed, and it's trying to support this really big, heavy figure, which makes this prone to breakage, because a lot of people have already broken this area because of the way it's designed. It's not meant to hold such a really big figure, to be able to have all this articulation. But with that said, here's the articulation you get. You do get a outward with the leg, so you get kind of like the thigh rotation right here, which is nice. And then you do get ratcheted forward and back, and you do get a ratchet out to the side. So you do get more articulation with FansToys, but like I said, they should have thought it out more, because this makes it more prone to, you know, breakage just by, you know, accidentally manipulating it too hard or something. And like I said, other people have broke theirs, so that's that. And something I forgot to mention here, you do have this slot here that opens, where you can, I don't know, stick the extra head in here in his crotch area, because I really don't know what this is for, but just pointing that out. You do have this area that can open. Okay, now let's move down to the knees here, because DX9 also did something really nice with their knee, and that is, here you could see they did give you these hydraulic joints, so that's really nice. That's really cool design. It's a nice little touch. And with FansToys, yeah, that was one of the complaints a lot of people had about the figure, is that with FansToys, when you bend their leg, you have this huge gap here. So yeah, I agree, that does not look good, especially when you compare it with DX9. So that's the knees. And then let's come down here, these shins. So here's something else. This one has this like pyramid shape that is cartoon accurate. And FansToys, just like their hand, the claw, they cropped off the top. So that is not cartoon accurate. So just pointing that out. And then the feet, you could see how this is plain, smooth, and simple, very cartoon accurate. And FansToys, they just put in their own little design here with the little details, which makes it look better, but not cartoon accurate. But more importantly, if I can come down here, the articulation with the feet, you don't get a up and down, but you do get a soft ratchet ankle rocker, which is very useful for when you want to pose this in like a A stance. So let's see, you can bring out the leg, if I can better control here, and then you can articulate the foot there. So that's nice. And with FansToys, same thing. You don't really get a up and down with the foot, but you do get a hard ratcheted ankle rocker, but it's just one. So yeah, kind of similar. And since there was something else I didn't point out, it's another major difference is with FansToys, you get all this extra detail, which is not cartoon accurate, but it does make the figure look a lot better with all this tempograph and stuff. So yeah, but that's very typical of FansToys. And here, DX9, you can see how they handled theirs. Much more simple. So with all that covered, let's get these two guys back here. Position this. So that's the best I can do with showing you some of the differences between the two. And now let's do this. Let's compare them with the animation model and see how well they captured the cartoon aesthetics. So let me put all of this stuff away, and yeah, now let's come here and compare this with the animation model, and you could see for the most part both of them, they did do a nice job in capturing the cartoon aesthetics, but there are the differences that I pointed out, such as the pyramid shape here, and FansToys, they cropped it off. The claws on DX9, which is cartoon accurate, but FansToys, they kind of like clip the tips, and you don't see it, but these little details here, there are a couple of scenes in the cartoon where he doesn't have it, but there's a few episodes where he does have like these details. So I really don't know how to, you know, say whether that's accurate or not, because it appeared both with and without it. So yeah, that's about it. I do want to point out one more thing that I didn't mention, which is the wings. I mean, here's how DX9 handled theirs. You have all these waffles exposed, and this is how they handled the details. But FansToys did a much better job. I mean, look at no waffles, very clean, and their details are much better. So that's I think that's it. That's a look at both of them in robot mode from the front. So now let's take a look at them from the back view. Okay, here's a look at both of them from the back view. So let's take a closer look at them, starting with DX9. And first thing you'll see, you know, again, how they handled the tracks, the wings with these waffles. And then you could see this is how they handled the details. The sides of those details are not really painted, but you could see they painted the holes here, so that's nice. And then the back, at the bottom, you could see the details. These little, I don't know what you call these, but that's cartoon accurate. But you could see the little triangle thing here. This doesn't look good in my opinion because it's painted, and it's not really painted all that well. You could see how it's thinning on the middle there, and the sides are not really painted very well. I think they could have done something different, like use maybe the same plastic here, because you can see this one right here definitely looks better. So you could see there's even a difference in the color. But yeah, I think for the most part it's okay. I mean, you get what you're paying for, right? I mean, painting it is much cheaper than using a different plastic. But it looks okay, but just pointing out the differences there. And with FansToys, so again, the first thing, you could see how they cleaned this wing tracks much better. There's no waffles exposed, and you could see how well they handled the details there. That's what FansToys is really good at, all these details. And they have metallic paint here, and even these little details here. Also on the bottom, which I have to go under here so you can see. Yeah, I mean, they put on all these little details. That's what they're really, FansToys is known for. They do a great job on the details. And here you could see they used plastic instead of paint, so that looks definitely much better. Same details here on the back of the thighs. And you can just come to the side and just point out more of all these details, which is what makes FansToys figures look really, really nice. I mean, even down here on the arms, look at that. I mean, that's what I really like about this, is that even though there are imperfections, but with FansToys figures, it's all that attention to detail and the way they handle it makes it look really, really nice. So there's the difference between the two. So now let's do this. Let's position these so we can compare it with the animation model and see how well they captured the cartoon aesthetics. And you could see, for the most part, yeah, I think they did both did a really nice job capturing just all the detail. Nothing really special. Just yeah, just the difference between the two figures themselves. So yeah, that's a look at both of them. So now let's just position these two back to the front so we could have our final thoughts on them, because I don't plan to transform these guys to their alternate rocket mode, because that's just a lot of work. So if anything, I will probably just post some images of them and share my thoughts. So here's just the final look, and just looking at them, you can't really say one's better than the other, because when you look at it, both of these, they look really, really good. It's just they're different, and hopefully I did a good job in pointing out a lot of the differences that I think you need to know, such as let's see, the cartoon accuracy of the claw there. The pointing one is more accurate to the cartoon than FansToys, where it looks like they clipped off the tips there. Same thing with these yellow knee shins. These are more cartoon accurate than FansToys. And then let's see, well, yeah, let's go over the electronic features on the arms. Yeah, DX9 handled it much better with simple pushing the button to turn it on and off. And FansToys, like I told you, that's not good design, where you have to take it out to get to the switch, turn it on. Especially this side where you have the wires exposed, where you might accidentally break it off and then you're going to have to solder it back to fix it. That's not good. And the big difference here is the way they designed the leg joints right there. DX9 definitely did a better job than FansToys, which has more parts, trying to support this really heavy figure, which is probably why a lot of people broke that area. And let's see, up here you do get an extra feature with the matrix that you could put in there and light up, which is not in the cartoon at all, so that doesn't make sense. And the articulation, you know, these are on like soft ratchets, which is fine. But FansToys, the ratchets, they are tighter, so you can actually lift it up and hold like a figure like Megatron. And the head is also a big difference. DX9 has more articulation, you can see with that neck, so he can look up and down. FansToys you cannot, but FansToys you do get the light gimmick, which I don't think looks really good because it makes his eyes look purple. But DX9, they did give you the control panel, which is painted and it's really nice. And you can go on the top and just swivel it instead of using your fingers. FansToys head is a little bit more cartoon accurate. And I already pointed out the head. I don't like the organic, realistic looking face, as opposed to DX9. Might be a little flatter, but it's looks more robotic to me. So I think that's just the summary of these two figures in robot mode. So yeah, I'm not going to say one's better than the other. They're just those differences that I pointed out. So I want to say that whichever one that you prefer or want to get, yeah, I don't think you'll lose either way, because both of these are really nice. And I'm not going to rate it either, because that's saying one's better than the other. Both of these are really nice figures. So I'm just going to end with that. And whichever one that you get, I guess like the saying goes, you win. So that's my final thoughts and comparison between DX9 Gabriel and FansToys Terminus Giganticus.
Release all of us, Megatron!